Welcome to this edition of the Skillshare class. Before we get started, I wanted to just go over some basic concepts about audio. I wanted to make sure that everybody was up to speed and that we're all speaking on the same level. So if we start out, I guess the basic question would be, what is sound? Basically, sound is a displacement of air molecules. If you think about it, and not to be too scientific, when we speak, our tongue actually creates the pressure that moves air molecules. Once those molecules hit our eardrum then acts as what we call a transducer. And don't get scared by big words. A transducer is just something that changes one form of energy into another. A microphone is also a transducer. But your eardrum is the transducer that allows you to hear. So a difference in sound pressure level, or what we say SPL, hits your eardrum and then gets transferred into an electrical signal, which allows your brain to interpret sound. Now, we also describe sound by how fast or the frequency at which the sound is moving. So, the slower the sound, the lower the frequency and the lower the tone of the sound. Human hearing is from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Again, don't get scared by the terminology. A hertz is just the way in which we measure sound. Sound itself travels at a constant speed of 1,130 feet per second. So what does that mean in layman's terms? That means that the lower the tone or the lower the frequency, the bigger the wave. And the higher the frequency, the higher the tone, and the smaller the wave. So that means if I'm dealing with a 20 hertz wave, it's a very, very big wave. Or if I'm dealing with a 20,000 hertz wave, it's a very small wave. It's telling you that you're getting 20,000 waves per second versus getting just 20 waves per second in our lower frequencies. The human ear, again, can only hear from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So when we're looking at bass frequencies, we're talking about things in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, even sometimes in the hundreds, dealing with certain kicks and basses. When we get into the higher frequencies, we're dealing with things that like hi-hats and things of that nature that may be way up in the 10K or 11K range. The main focus, or should I say the hardest thing to maintain or to control, are all of our mid frequencies. These are the hardest things when we're recording because all instruments have these mid frequencies and we have to make decisions on who's going to live where. When we talk about frequencies, there's also another great concept that must be understood, and that's the dynamic range. When we're talking about dynamic range, we're really talking about the softest sound all the way to the loudest sound that whatever instrument we're recording can produce, be that a human voice, be that a set of drums, be that a guitar, or anything that we're recording. It's sort of like the old adage where we say only one molecule or only one thing can fill space at one time. We have to make room for all of the mid-level noises, sounds, and things that present itself in our recording. So the better understanding that we have of our frequency range, the better we can accommodate all of these sounds.